Arena! Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're gonna talk about a thing that just ended, and it was something a little bit crazy. What am I talking about? We are talking about this crazy CvC that just happened between IPR clan and GnL clan in Imperium, with now 84 trophies, and Gods and Legends 1 with now 81 trophies. Come on, can you believe in this whale war? This is the biggest amount of points in the history of Raid Shadow Legends. This is the craziest amount of points each clan have done. Both clans have broke the world record and achieve a whole new level of points in CvC. And we're gonna show you everything since the first day to the end, how it happened and how to compare everything. Let's go. First of all, let's go to the members. Look at this crazy amount of points each one of the members have done. The top 10 of each clan, you cannot see anybody under 5 million points. That alone is already a crazy statistic, you know? And if you take a look, brother, look Timoth's, the leader of IPR clan, personal points. This is insanity. 19.5 million points by himself, and he has two accounts. His second account did 7.7 million points. So by himself he did almost 27 million points. That's insane. That's insane. By himself, if he was a clan, only himself, he would be top 5. He would be top 5 clan during a CvC with PR. We had personal rewards, the CvC. So that's when the clans do their most impactful amount of points. So by himself he would be the fifth clan, the 5th highest punctuation by himself, just himself. That's craziness. And that's insane. And look to every other player here. The scores are very high. Fade did over 10 million points. Holly did almost 10 million. Gizmo did IPR Frog did almost 10 million. And here we go. The same for GnL players. Kiefer, Jabor, eDaddy, Neoteam, Engine, the leader of GnL. Crazy amount of points. Look all the list. Every player here did their best. They achieved a whole another level of CvC. Look at this, to the top, to the bottom, to the top. Everyone here did their job, did an amazing punctuation. Nobody under 1 million points. Nobody. That's insane. Insane. Let's break down to how people did this amount of points. Here on versus mode we can check how each clan did their points. So the champion objectives, IPR did 24.3 million, while GnL did 19.8 million. What that means, the push power the instant points, books and champion upgrades were done in the end, usually in the end of the fight. Most come from this here. And that alone is a crazy high amount of points. Very, very high amount of points. So look how many points these both clans did. The campaign, the Potion Keeper and the Minotaur, almost all the clans do not do any points because it's not worth it. This year it was probably me upgrading some Champions Masteries by myself. Dragon, we did almost no run, and GnL did 1 run. The same for Ice Golem. We did the 10 runs here, and they did the 1 run here. Friday night, this amount of points, 3.4 million points from IPR against 1.4 million points from GnL. IPR points were almost all made by one single player, IPR Fade. He made this almost by himself. He was running Friday night almost all the fight. They spider now. The things start to become a little bit different. 21.2 million points from IPR, 15.7 million points from Gods and Legends, and this is a huge amount of points for both clans, because Spider is usually a very, very fast farm team, and you can farm both the items that you want, the accessories, and the silver. It comes from selling them, that are a lot higher than selling artifacts. So fast farming and good reward, that's why the punctuations are so high. About the Sand Devil, that one, IPR did 43.3 million points, while Gods and Legends did 61.1 million points. This is unbelievable high amount of points. Unbelievable. That points alone could be the top 2, the top 3 and the top 4 in the clans rank. Just Sun Devil points. You know, because this is one of the best resources in the game right now to change the ascension, to ascend and change the ascension of artifacts, and is one of the fastest dungeons to farm without having to care about space on your inventory, because Spider is also fast, but you're gonna have to have space on your inventory to get the items and upgrade the items and manage your gear resources. Exactly like Devil Shogun is exactly the same. 35.5k million points from IPR, 26.8 million points from Gods and Legends. It's also another very, very fast dungeon. People can farm it under 2 seconds, and it gives good amount of points with good amount of resources that you're gonna use to ascend and change the ascension of your accessories, and it takes no space on your inventory. So that's why Sun Devil and Shogun are the most farmed dungeons here. The Iron Twins, the Faction Wars, the Arena has a relative good amount of points, but not really relevant in this kind of crazy CvC if you compare to the other areas of the game, but still a good amount of points. 2 million from IPR, 2.4 million from Gods and Legends. Faction Wars and Iron Twins, both clans did almost the same as Demon Lord, because all the clans do all the keys probably daily. The gear objective is another thing that made a lot of points. This is purely upgrading artifacts, ascending artifacts, burning your silver. So IPR did 35 million points, while Gods and Legends did 22.4 million points, and it's a very huge amount of points. Again, this is insane amount of points. This forge here it gives you a little bit amount of points to forge. But basically, you forge items here to use as resources to do the gear objective points. The forge materials and the forge itself does not give as many points as we wish. But after having the material to upgrade the material here, the resources will do a lot of gear objective points. And that's why forge is almost always used to get resources for upgrading and getting gear objectives. And last but not less important, the miscellaneous objectives, gems. IPR spent 266.7k gems, while Gods and Legends spent 392.2k gems. Oh my god, look at the amount of gems. I wish that was on my account right now because I'm broke after the CvC. So that's how both these clans achieved this incredible amount of points. 168.6 million to IPR and 153.8 million to Gods and Legends. The previous world record was from a clan. It was 81 million points from Eternal Titans. So both clans broke the world record, and IPR not only broke it, it doubled it and a little bit more. That's how this whale war was been occurring. And about the personal points, Timot beat his own record. He was the previous owner of the highest amount of points in the CvC. He did 50 million points. Now he's with 90.5 million points. And that's, oh my god, I can't even believe how much resources he have spent. That's a very powerful wheel of winning, and he's IPR leader, so his will was contagious to the clan. Everybody wanted to win, and he lead us to that. So guys, I will show you every moment of this battle, because since the beginning there wasn't a big lead of any of the clans. The maximum lead we saw during the 2 days of CvC, it was 2 million and something. And the leading points were changing between IPR and Gods and Legends. IPR and Gods and Legends. Nobody would know who might have the really biggest leading in the end, because the clans were so close to each other. I never saw that before. Never saw that before. That amount of points with the clans don't giving up after 1 day, after 2 days of CvC, is something that made history on Raid Shadow Legends. These whales, including myself here, did history. So let me say, before we continue, congratulations to all IPR players, all my clanmates that did their job, and congratulations to all Gods and Legends players from the bottom to the top that also did an amazing battle, an amazing fight, showed the whole community the will of fighting for something. And don't mistake yourself, we were not fighting for these rewards here. We were not fighting for these reaction accessories that are very good, but we were not fighting for it. We were not fighting for these personal rewards here. We were fighting for pride, for honor, for the fun of the game. That's why we were fighting. Not for the rewards. The rewards are just a bonus. But we were fighting for the fun that we got when we did that. And let's see how all the battle was settled from the beginning of the first day to the end. Let's go. Here are the points with 21 hours missing to the end of the CvC. You can check each individual points. Here is 17 hours to the end of the CvC. "13 hours to the end of the CvC. "8 hours to the end of the CvC. You can see the lead is not that high. 7 hours to the end of the CvC. We start to push a lot harder. 4 hours to the end of CvC. We're still maintaining the push, but they are following it. 2 hours, almost 3 hours to the end of the CvC. The gap is really low now. 1 hour and a half to the end of the CvC, same gap as before. And now, the last 1.5 hour accelerated. So what happened here? Doing all the CvC, each point we've made, they've followed it. Since the first hour of CvC, every point made by us were followed by them. But we were monitoring each point in each of these categories. We made an Excel, and everything was put into account by time, so we knew which points they were doing by each hour of the CvC. And every time we had a gap, because we were farming a little bit faster than him, they add some points with champion objectives, so they were burning instant resources to straighten the gap between us, the entire CvC. Every time we had 1 million or 1.2 million ahead of them, their champion objectives burn this gap between us. So we knew they were burning their instant points before the end of the CvC, and we did not do this. We kept all our instant points to the end of the CvC. So when the end of the CvC started, close to 1 hour to the end, we start burning our instant points at the end, and they didn't have as much final push as we did, because all the time they were burning books and champion objectives, instant points, to straighten the gap between the farm time. So in the end, they didn't have the points to push as hard as us. So we put up a 15 million points difference in the end just with instant points, and we are monitoring. If we need to put more, we could, but we only do that if is needed. So our highest whales put some instant points, and we waited to see if they're going to respond, and we spent 20 minutes watching if there is any movement on their points, ready to a response. We had 23 players on the Discord waiting. If any points were added to their points, we would respond straight away. So the gap, it was 15. We maintained that 15 gap because we think it was a safe measure, and we kept like this, maintaining for some period. No points were relevantly added to their points, so we kept this distance without burning more resources than needed. That was our strategy. We monitor each one of their points during all the CvC, so we knew exactly what we didn't knew how much resources they had, but we could account for some somehow based on us, because we have great whales on our clan, and if our great whales that buy almost everything doesn't have that much of that resources, probably the others won't have too. So we could monitor how probably they had as resources, and we could keep a track, and it worked in the end. But it was a very hard CvC. Again, congratulations, gods and legends, for the battle. It will be here for the history of Raid Shadow Legends, and congratulations IPR, my clan. We did it. It was a very, very ferocious battle, but it was very fun. Guys, thank you for watching it. If you're interested in this kind of content with the highest whale level in the game, leave a like and a comment, and I will go to sleep cause I didn't slept in 2 days. See ya!
It's all about arena.